Welcome back to Buy or Buy. Okay, let's just be brutally honest right out of the gate here. This vehicle is exactly what happens when Mercedes takes a 1979 military off-roader, modernizes the chassis just enough to actually pass modern crash tests, drops in a hand-built 577 horsepower AMG V8, charges $195,000, and then just sits back and watches the entire crypto class line up to buy them in retina-searing yellow with pink stitching. It is literally entirely absurd. And yet, you know what? It's utterly fascinating. Now, what we're talking about today is the W463A. This is the second-generation G-Class. It's an all-new platform that officially launched back on January 14, 2018 at the Detroit Auto Show. We're talking about that iconic squared-off SUV. You know the one, with those classic round LED headlights, the imposing AMG Pan-Americana grille, and of course the exposed rear-mounted spare tire. Without question, it has totally cemented itself as the most iconic luxury status symbol of its era. Engineering this brick was no small feat. The G63 is meticulously built at the Magna Steyr plant in Graz, Austria. And what's really interesting about its pedigree is that this specific generation was the very first G variant ever formally crash tested. Underneath all that ultra-luxury leather, it actually retains an extremely durable ladder frame, body-on-frame construction. But to make it truly drivable on modern roads, Mercedes finally gave it an independent front suspension, while still retaining that heavy-duty, solid axle in the rear. And then there's the heart of the beast. We are talking about the hand-built M17 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, assembled by a single technician at AMG in Affalterbach, Germany. It's actually one of AMG's most reliable and widely used modern engines. Seriously, this thing appears in the C63 S, the E63 S, GLE63 S, the AMG GT, the S63, and even the Aston Martin DB11 and DBX707. It is incredibly well documented, and AMG specialists know exactly how to maintain it. This engine makes 577 horsepower and an earth-moving 627 pound-feet of torque. Just let those numbers sit with you for a second, especially for a vehicle shaped exactly like a bank vault. Let's carefully walk through the rest of this heavy-duty hardware. All that power is managed by a highly robust 9-speed AMG SPEEDSHIFT TCT automatic transmission. It grips the road with permanent all-wheel drive, and here's the craziest part. It features 3 fully manual differential locks, controlled via buttons right on the dashboard. Because of those locks, it is genuinely capable off-road. Even if, let's be real, most of these will never see a single speck of dirt. It rides on an AIRMATIC adaptive air suspension just to control its massive 5,842-pound curb weight. And despite its aerodynamic profile being basically a brick, it will still launch from 0 to 60 in just 4.2 seconds. So, with all that insane pedigree and power, why is our rating for this vehicle a maybe? Well, that is the absolute core tension of this explainer. The G-Wagon has barely changed visually in 47 years, and it's built like an absolute tank. But, as you're about to see, the day-to-day reality of ownership is genuinely complicated. Before we get to the bad news, let's talk about the ultimate financial flex. The G63 holds its value better than almost any other luxury SUV on the used market. Think about this. The original 2019 MSRP was right around $149,500. Today, a 2019 model with 35,000 to 65,000 miles on it still trades for $130,000 to $160,000. That is just exceptional value retention. $275,000. Because if you want a 2025 G63 with under 10,000 miles, depending on those highly customized manufacturer options, you're looking at $200,000 to $275,000 on the used market. Literally, many of these examples are selling above their original MSRP right now. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, and we definitely need a serious reality check. The resale value is legendary for sure. But the day-to-day ownership and the running costs of this machine, they are absolutely staggering. Buying it is one thing, keeping it on the road is another entirely. 12. That is your real-world combined fuel economy. 12 miles per gallon. Let that sink in. And that staggering thirst translates directly into this number. $2,700. That's the annual gas guzzler tax you can expect to add to your operating costs every single year. And that's on top of the strict requirement that this hand-built AMG V8 only drinks premium fuel.
Now, let's deliberately pace through some of these massive AMG engine repair bills, because you need to know this. The primary concern on the M177 is the oil separator and rear main seal failures, which will easily cost you $3,500 to $5,500 to repair. You also really have to watch out for a common turbo wastegate rattle that happens between 1,800 and 2,500 RPM. On higher mileage models, timing chain stretch becomes an issue, bringing a $1,500 to $2,500 bill with it. And the crucial point tying all of this together, the impossibly tight engine bay. The packaging in there is so constrained that even simple everyday repairs become incredibly labor-intensive.
And unfortunately, the wear items don't stop there. Just let these costs marinate for a moment. The high-pressure fuel pump is known to fail at a cost of $1,200 to $2,000. Because it's direct injection, you're definitely going to need a walnut blasting service for carbon buildup every 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Ignition coil packs frequently fail due to the immense underhood heat, costing $200 to $400 each. Oh, and that AIRMATIC air suspension? It wears out like absolute clockwork, running $1,500 to $2,500 per corner to replace. Ouch.
Then there's what we call the packaging penalty. Despite the incredible price tag, the ergonomics inside are actually pretty flawed. The seats are surprisingly narrow. The near-vertical windshield generates significant wind noise at highway speeds. And on uneven roads, owners frequently report a noticeable front-end steering shimmy, which is just a lingering trait of its heavy-duty chassis architecture. All of this culminates in a RepairPal reliability rating of just 2.5 out of 5. That ranks the G-Class a dismal 26 out of 29 in the luxury midsize SUV category. Let's quickly move to the rivals and see how this brick compares to its ultra-luxury peers. Keep in mind, we've actually covered all of these competitors separately in other explainers right here on Buy or Buy, so you can always check those out for deeper dives. When you look at the landscape, the Range Rover L460 is a similar money pit with classic JLR reliability issues. The Bentley Bentayga? Well, that offers a much more refined, traditional luxury experience. The Lamborghini Urus Performante is dynamically vastly superior and much, much faster. And the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT is significantly more reliable with lower running costs, though it has to be said it suffers from way worse depreciation than the G63. Which leads us to the ultimate question. Is the G-Wagon lifestyle actually worth it? It's a tough call. You're constantly weighing its highly polarizing image against its unmatched, iconic durability and just undeniable road presence. And that brings us to our final verdict. For the 2019 to 2026 Mercedes-AMG G63 W463A, it's a firm maybe. Let's wrap this up. Brand new at a 2026 MSRP of $195,500, which easily scales to $250,000 to $350,000 with manufacturer options. It is one of the great status symbols of our time. On the used market, sitting anywhere from $130,000 to $275,000 depending on the year, the G63 W463A has held its value better than almost any other luxury SUV in existence. Our verdict is maybe, because while the G63 is iconic, exceptionally durable, and holds value remarkably well, you really have to accept that 12 MP real-world fuel economy, the massive AMG-level maintenance costs, and a very, very polarizing image. Buy this vehicle only if you genuinely want the G-Wagon lifestyle. So I'll leave you with this final thought. When you're looking at a vehicle like this, are you buying it for the drive, or are you just buying it for the driveway? Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll see you next time on Buy or Buy.